thing I look both ways, huh?
All right, we sold the Lodestar. We're hauling it to Milltown. Got my little co-pilot in there. Got the Ford all loaded down. It's doing decent. It's not pulling like a Cummins, but that's okay. Hey.
Oh gosh.
Bigger hill. We're doing a full 25 miles per hour. Yeah, just back up 10 feet and slam on the brake. Keep going. Go fast. All right, hit it. Do it again. Keep going. Go, 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 go. Hit it. Hit the brake. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Yes. Perfect. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. It gets colder.
Yeah, no. I'm scared. I don't want to go. You're scared for what? I don't.
There ain't alligators.
Yes, there is.
Are you done?
No.
All right, what are we doing?
Nothing fun. Not swimming. Nothing fun. And I could never be in anyone's pit crew, so please don't ask.
Hey. That's one way to do it, I guess. There you go. All right, Hannah and I have the cab hovering over the chassis, but we ran into a few problems that we should have addressed before we got this far. So Hannah, what we got?
Well, the perfect job for you is calling your name. You gotta take the inner fenders out because it's hitting the intake and the turbo on the other side.
All right, so I'll show you guys that. So those inner fenders are definitely gonna hit. You can see there it's gonna hit the intake horn. Then on this side, it's definitely gonna hit the turbo. Hannah's gonna be pulling this old radiator out. We're not gonna be using it. We're gonna be using the Dodge radiator. And another thing is, we still have room to go forward. You can't really tell because the hoist post is in the way, but this whole chassis needs to come forward another 8 inches or so to be center of that wheel well. So it looks like to us, we're not going to have to take the firewall out yet because it looks like we have room, but I won't be surprised if we do have to take some of the firewall out. Most importantly, I want these wheels centered with the fender wheel, but also you got to think, we still got to get a radiator in here and the end cooler, and we don't have that much more space. So hopefully we can squeeze all that in there. It drives me crazy seeing trucks that the cab swap, but the wheels and the inner fender, the wheels ain't center of the fender well. So that's most important to me, and we'll figure out the front as we go. So next up for us, we're gonna pull this chassis back, lower the cab down. Hannah's gonna take that old nasty radiator out, and I'm gonna cut these inner fenders out, hopefully not botch them up too bad, so maybe we can fit them back in there. And we will keep you updated on the progress. More.
Okay, so I called in reinforcement because I am a weenie and I cannot handle sparks, but clearly he is a professional here, and he's about got it. Okay. Well, all right.
There you go. Now you get to take the inner fenders out.
No.
Get it? Mm-hmm. Sweet. All right, let's knock that thing out of there.
Nation.
You're good. Just hammer it down.
You got a hammer?
What's it caught on? Is there another one back there?
No. No.
There.
No.
It's caught on this headlight bucket.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
Huh?
Get that wiring off there. I think you're golden. Yeah, it's just. Yeah.
It's fine. Should I just knock it off there?
Do
you want them for the headlights?
Just step on it, send it. Oh yeah, like Chuck Norris, that baby. Man, check this thing out. This thing is too cool looking. It's still on the hoist, of course. It's got to go down some more, probably down another 12 inches. I forgot my floor jack in town, so when I'm in town tomorrow, I'll grab my floor jack, and I need to move this frame over so then it's in line with the cab. But overall, it is looking good. The steps are on top of the roof. The steps will move down below the bottom of the door, so that'll fill all that out real nice. Check this out. I thought I was gonna have to cut the firewall out. Thought I might, maybe not, but like I said earlier, it wouldn't surprise me if I did. I have plenty of clearance behind that, which therefore I still have to adjust the wheel wells a little bit, but I'm pretty sure I can get by without cutting the firewall, so that's awesome. But it makes it real close up here, so that's mechanical fans getting real close. I probably have to pull it out, put an electric fan in there, but it's filling out real nice. Super excited. All right, so next thing we gotta do, we gotta get rid of these old cab mounts. We're not gonna be using that guy. That one there, it goes, and then this front one up here, this one would have held the core support on the second gen, and it's in front of the truck, so this one goes, the one in the middle goes, and the one behind it, and there's also another one. This one here, we won't be using it as well. All right, with the cab mounts out of the way and the frame shifted over, you can see here it's slipping right in between there, almost like it was made for it. We gotta shift it into place a little bit more, but it's definitely closer than it was. If you come around to the front, we got the cab mounts off the front, but as you can tell here, it's getting ready to hit here and here. So we're gonna take off probably a couple inches here and let that slip down around there. We can only go down this distance, and that's all we got. Otherwise, we'll be cutting up into here and then into the grill and butchering all that up. So the truck will only come down that 4 or 5 inches, and that's pretty much gonna be the ride height. And then from there, we'll build the body mounts and see where we're at. All right, so we got this cut out. That looks good. I was gonna take 2 inches out, but I decided just to take 1 inch out. I was kind of trying to get the body to go down a little bit further, but in order for me to get it down further, I'm gonna have to cut this out and butcher it all up, and I don't think I want to do that. And another thing I got to looking is if you look up here, the bottom of this hood, whenever it's shut, it should be in line with this here. Well, to me, it looks like, you know, we got this 4 inches here. We could bring the body down to get the truck down lower. But if you come back to here, this intake is about the same level as that line right there. So the hood will shut down and be roughly about 1 inch above that. So this socket has definitely got to go. So we got to definitely remove that and fix that bolt so the hood shuts down fine. The other thing, I was kind of bummed out when I stood back and looked. Look at this gap. I don't really want that gap. I wanted the tires to be about right here. But our rollers right now are only 33s, and we're going to be putting 37s on it. And also, like I said previously, we didn't know if we were going to be running, you know, a lift kit on this truck or not. So if I took these 5-inch blocks out, that's going to get it obviously 5 inches lower, and then that 37. So we might have that tire gap like I originally wanted. And it'd be perfectly fine if this truck don't have a lift on it. I don't care if it has a lift. I prefer it don't have a lift, honestly, just to get the stance I want. And I definitely don't want that lift on there. The back of the cab's looking good. The cab slipped right around the frame like it was meant to be. I got some blocks just keeping it from teetering because the cab currently is sitting on top of the transmission. So I'm gonna have to cut the transmission tunnel out and fix that. You know, fix the tunnel in it, whatever. But overall, it is looking good. I'm super excited with the way it's turning out. So I got to see if the center of the wheel wells is going to work yet. I'm not sure where center is. I haven't put a tape measure on that. The fan is definitely not going to work. It is hitting the core support. So that's got to be pulled, and we'll have to put electric fan, and the radiator is probably going to be setting, you know, right up to the inside of this grill. But there's still plenty of room. We might have to cut some of this stuff out. Hopefully not cut this out, but we'll just have to see. We'll just do one day at a time, one project at a time. That's all we can do. All right, so we're in the cab. If I put my fingers back here, the shifter is right here. So I need to cut this section out right in this area so then the transmission can come on through, and then our stick will be here, be in this area. And I didn't realize the floors they're not terrible. There's a little bit of spot here. This little corner is 8 out. And over here you can see some daylight. I couldn't tell that when we got the truck because it had carpet or vinyl floor in it or whatever was in it. But it's really not a bad cab. I can deal with this. Hannah's truck, it was no floor. And our plan with it was just body dropping it. And it was a mess. Like, the complete floor is done in her truck. So this is going to be like a walk in the park, just patching it up and maybe put some POR on here and probably bed liner. Raptor liner always looks good, but we'll save all that. I'm kind of getting ahead. I'm already planning for paint, and I ain't even got the body bolted on this thing. All right, I got the hole cut out for the shifter for the transmission to come through, and that let it come down a good 2 or 3 inches. And then I notice coming up here now, boom, it came down a couple inches. So this is where this body is going to be. I'm just going to leave it here and just take the lift off of it and get our stance that way. It looks perfect in there. I'm super tickled I didn't have to cut the firewall out because that would have just been more work and everything, which with the motor that far forward, it puts us in a bind up here, but we'll just have to figure that out. There you have it. The body is setting on its own on the frame. I got some 2x4s and 4x6s kind of holding it up in place, but it looks killer. The wheels are pretty much centered. Might have to, I think the cab needs to come back just a shade, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and pull them blocks out and put like a 2-inch leveling kit on the front just to get it up there, because if you take this 37, you take this guy and you put him here. So that's the tire we're going to be running. It looks pretty good, but still want to get this down a little bit. But if I take 5 inches out, that gets it to here like I said I wanted. But I'm almost wondering if that might be too low. So I might just put like a 2-inch block, so then we got about this much gap. From my hand down will be our fender gap. And I think that'll even it out all the way around, so it'll be like a consistent gap, I guess I would say. But this thing looks so cool. I can't wait to get the wheels on it. Just, me being impatient is not helping nothing right now. So the next step, I think, for us is to pull this lift kit off, get a 2-inch leveling kit on the front, and get the back completely stock. I think that'll be good. Once we get the cab where we want it, we can go ahead and get the bed going on it. I was kind of wondering if maybe that ain't too much gap between the cab here and this tire, or the front of these tires here. But it looks like to me it's kind of like, it's got like that, like a cabin chassis look to it. And being a grain truck, I think it can pull it off, having that long of a distance in between the cab and the back of the tires. So I think it'll pull it off. I'm gonna put a skirted flatbed on it. So once the steps are on it, the steps will come to here. So the steps will be down this 10 inches or so, whatever that is. So I'm thinking the skirted flatbed is gonna be the same, keep on the same, consistent with the bottom of the steps. So it'll all be like a straight run. And so I'm gonna take the sides that was on top of the bed frame, and we'll move them down to make the skirted flatbed. So the bed's gonna be red, and then kind of 45 the back of it so it, can pull a gooseneck, and the sides, the end of the bed won't run into the trailer or whatever. But man, I just can't. I'm just sitting here looking at it, taking a break because it just looks so cool, which taking breaks ain't going to get it done. So I got to get back on it. Just imagine this. You guys, half of you guys are probably going to hate this, but it's okay. My truck, not yours. It's got to be black, of course, though. Tell me that ain't going to look cool. Shorter, too. I just had that piece laying around. But all right, guys, what should I do with these doors? I love the way they look. I think it's awesome. I want to know what you guys would do. I want to leave Sugarwood Farms and my grandpa's name on the bottom. I want to keep the door, let it look just like it does, but this is all sticker. So I was talking to my grandma, and she said that she hand painted the sticker material and then stuck the sticker material on the doors. I think it looks cool, but I like the way it looks, don't get me wrong, and I'm not saying take it off there at all. What I think I want to do is peel the stickers off of it and get the doors back kind of clean. And then I got a buddy that does like old school pinstriping, and he does like old school lettering with a brush. So I think I want to, like I said, take this off and then have him hand paint all this back on there so it livens it up. But I don't want it to look like, an old truck with fresh paint on, fresh letters and artwork on the doors. I want them roughed up where they look like it's been weathered since 1965. But I'm asking you guys, what would you guys do? Would you guys leave it exactly how it is, or do what I'm saying, liven it up? My thing is, that's a Black Angus, not a albino cow. That's an oyster white, not a albino pig. But I don't know. I just think it should be livened up with hand paint, but weathered hand paint. or should I leave it just how it is and keep going? It's a question. Drop your comments down below what I should do, what we should do, and we'll go from there.